let's just take a moment to, I told someone the car was reversing. Very close to the gate. So let's take a moment to express gratitude. I really want to begin with expressing my gratitude to community and for being together. And sometimes when it's hard for me to begin this satsang, because I'm just enjoying so much the coming together of everybody. And I feel I don't really have anything to say, but it's a great excuse to get you all here. So, deep gratitude for this ever-present moment that birthed us new in every moment and is the greatest gift of this life, the possibility to start anew in every moment. The possibility is always there. And deep gratitude for your presence, for your willingness, your desires, your longing that brought you here, and your desire to learn that allow me to teach. Without students, there is no school. Without student, there is no teacher. So your willingness to learn and to know create all of this. So take a moment to appreciate yourself, your quests, your inquiries in life. And deep gratitude for the hosts, the householder that make this wonderful space available for the school to express, to be met by all of you. And gratitude for all the students of this school that give a lot of energy and intention and actually created the school. And you know who you are. So appreciate yourself. I really appreciate you. And lastly, deep gratitude for this tantric teaching, the current of Tantra, that make my life so rich and exciting and powerful and potent, and make my living experience so relevant for myself and hopefully for everybody that come close to this current. And gratitude to the medicine of love that brings the waves of the heart. Gratitude to the waves of the hearts that give us an opportunity to know ourselves more in the joy and in the suffering. Passé. Okay, so welcome to the Tantra School of Fascinating Wonderment, where we teach the current of Tantrism from the feminine current, the feminine embodiment. And the main essence of what does it mean to teach from the feminine way is that we don't have an apparent structure. And we really teach with the arising. And we're very present with what life offers. And so in this school we don't have modules, we don't have a syllabus, you are the modules and the syllabus. So what you're bringing gets reflected back, because life is the greatest manual of living, and so we don't need any other book, right? We have your bodies and your emotion, and that's all that is necessary to understand the human condition. So tonight we're talking about spiritual eroticism, in particular for men, because we are running a weekend retreat next weekend called Erotic Expansion for Men, and I know for many men the realm of sexuality and the emotion, it's a tender place, is a new place, a little bit uncharted, and so there is maybe some insecurity, some nervousness, some tension, and so I wanted to relieve the tension tonight, if possible. So I will start with a little introduction, but then I would really, really love to receive from you that are sitting here your response, and so that we make it a live conversation. Satsang is coming together in truth, so we bring a pearl of truth into the space, and then we let it move through whoever is here, and it becomes very dynamic when you bring of yourself in your inquiries of truth. So this is really welcome, and don't think that any question is a stupid question. It's not, it's really important, and maybe it arises in your body and you think it's all about you, but right now your body, it's already connecting with the body of everybody, so our nervous system are connecting like mushrooms. And so maybe your question is not really so much about you, but maybe about other inquiry that are in the space. And so the answer will be valid for everybody. So I'm speaking mainly to the men, but I also wanted to invite the women, and so we could have a bigger crowd, more relaxed. And also because I feel, it's important that we start going to school together. We all learning together. And some learning are specific to men and some to women. But it's important that the women listen to the teaching for the men, and the women listen to the teaching. What did I say? The same thing. The men listen to the teaching of the women, So, sometimes they do talk on menstruation for women. And I'm like, why? This is a reality. Every man should learn about menstruation, so they stop guessing and wondering and stumbling in the dark. So same for the women, to know what's happening in male sexuality, so we also can meet it with more spontaneity, and we take away this layer of separation, that what's not about me. No, everything is about you. In Tantra, everything that happens in your life, it's about you and is your concern. And you can take responsibility for it, everything. So spiritual eroticism, let's start there. It's when we start to use our erotic movement as a spiritual practice, our desire, our eros, our fantasies, our like and dislike in eroticism, and we bring them at the forefront, and we look at them as a map to understand my place in the world, to understand where I'm at, where I want to go, and therefore this becomes a spiritual practice, to look at sex as a spiritual practice. And of course this is very different from everything we were taught in our life, from all our culture, that are so interwoven with religion. And in fact, I think the conversation about religions become very limited, because every religions that took place in our evolution, it's actually a political movement. It's got very little to do with spirituality. No one learned to pray in church, actually. We go to church to do what the other are doing. Often in church there is a person of authority that speaks with the divine, and we take the dribble from their messages, And no religion teaches you that you have a direct connection with God, because otherwise the hierarchy of religion wouldn't exist, and the politic of religion wouldn't exist. And so that's when they begin to teach you that there is someone in authority, and what they say go, and you have to meet them. And you may not ask too many questions, otherwise you become blaspheme. And so the idea that there is a God that becomes angry at you is a real great political structure to make you afraid of the invisible. You know, it's then is real fear, because that's what we do also in our practice. When we make the invisible visible, it's so much less scary. So it's less scary to be afraid of a person that will have some human flaw, but to be scared of God that lives in the invisible is a real deep fear, and it can really trap you from inside. And then we start to be the first abuser of ourselves. That's great. Politics and religion don't have to do hard work for it, because we are all doing it for ourselves, and we keep control of each other in this way, maintaining the status quo. So Tantra comes in completely sideways and explodes all this concept, because Tantra tells you that God lives inside of you, inside your body, that God is your body, that spirituality is the wave of your heart. That's a spiritual practice, to really listen to your emotional movement, to listen to your inner voice, to take care of this body as this organism that is a magnificent, high-tech, the most advanced high-tech instrument that reality has created so far for consciousness to come through, for spirit to speak. And so if you take this philosophy on, of course, suddenly you have to dismantle all the status quo of culture and politics and hierarchy structure, because they're not valid. They're simply not valid anymore. They're just story. They're mental construct. They actually don't exist in reality. You can't grab them. You can't touch them. Like professional success is not something you can hold in your hand, is not something you can really look at. But your body you can. Your body you can hold it, you can touch it, you can really look into it. And so you can start to really culture an intimate relationship with the law of nature. And your body follows the law of nature. It's tired when it's dark, it needs sustainment, it needs water to drink, it needs connection, it needs shelter. And so if we would look at living in society from the needs of this organism, we would structure society in a completely different way. And a simple way is that you wouldn't have to buy water. What is this thing? That you buy water? You know? And we do. We're so habituated to buy water, right? And different brand of water. Without water, we'd all be dead. Shouldn't water be for free? Of course. Otherwise, there's no one consuming water any longer. But this is the twisted mentality of power and money and survival, that if I package this product well and I get you to buy it, I will survive. I don't care about you buying my water if you can or cannot, but at least I've done my business well. So, you know, I can go on and on and on. This can be an endless rant. But I want to throw it there because I think all of you, I know all of you like me, we are intertwined in this society that use us in a way that we need to use each other to survive, and is a terrible concept that doesn't really resonate with anything absolutely true. So you can reflect on this if in your business you're using people, or you are really offering something to the people. So sexuality, of course, is the biggest business on the planet, and pornography is the greatest business on the planet. Prostitution, the selling of sex slave. I mean, we don't talk so much about it, but it's huge. And it makes a lot of money to a lot of people. And we are all trapped in it. And so our sexual education becomes this, is the business of sex. And then there is the business of love that is Hollywood and Disney. And it's another business, because we go and we watch movie and we pay for Netflix, and actors have jobs, and on and on and on. Maybe some of you have worked in the movie industry. I did for many years, so it employs a lot of people, so this becomes sacred business. They are untouchable. But again, the concept of love is completely distorted, is manipulated, and is packaged in a format where you need him and her, and you need the heart longing, the struggle, and the good resolution. And then they get married, and the movie ends. As if that is the end, and so make us all believe that once you grow up and you find the one, because there is only one, and you have to go through the hero journey, because that's what we watch in movie, right? And find that one, and you marry that one, then it's happiness and peace. And we all know in reality, it's not how it goes, right? You get married, and then the struggle begins. Different struggle, a new struggle. And then you have to have the happy family and have a child, because what's a couple without a child? It's unfinished. And then you have one, you should have two, because that's the American dream, You have to have 4 kids, so it really feels that you have a balanced family. And then maybe you have to add a dog and a couple of cats and pretty holidays, and then we're losing the self, The majority of people are so lost in this journey, in this fantasy of romance and happiness. And then we culture really toxic relationship within those families, within those relationships, to these children that enter in this family. And of course, it's a loop. They get educated that mediocrity, it's happiness, it's okay. It could be worse. And so let's be happy with what we've got. Great political move, again, Religion also tells you, be happy, be very joyful with what you've got. Don't aim for more. It's ego and it's selfish. And so this is maintained because actually when you're struggling, when you're in a crisis, the thing we do the most is we spend money on something to fix our uneasiness. And we buy dinner at the restaurant, so maybe it's nicer than eating at home because I'm so fucking bored about my relationship and my family. And we invent things to do and clothing because, the illusion that if I have a different garment, I am different. Bigger car, so we play with toys still as adults because we want to be distracted by our reality, and so we find a lot of toys to play with. And I put in the mix also sex toy that now, became this big wave of woman empowerment, and every woman needs to have a dildo and lubricants so that we avoid the real issue that I'm not aroused, that my yoni is dry, that is not working with my partner. So too much to do. That's adulting, right? So let's go back into being children and play with toys and get distracted and make more money to buy more expensive toys and more sophisticated toys and so on and so forth and blah, blah, blah. So Tantra, it's a fringe, it's not for everybody because really what it calls for personal maturity. It wants to have a conversation with adults that takes responsibility and are really present also with the discomfort of things. And make a plan. Take responsibility, which only means the ability to respond to the moment. And that ability can reflect in so many ways, can be very creative ways, very expansive and entertaining ways and curious ways. But it calls to realize that you need to respond to a feeling of not being fulfilled, actually, fully fulfilled. Not feeling absolutely in tune with your environment, with nature, not feeling in tune with the movement, the natural law of reality, feeling disconnected from other people and community. And that means there is something that doesn't work inside of you, and it needs to be taken really, really seriously and not just medicated. The depression, it's anxiety and depression are beautiful revelation that something needs to change. They're not things that needs to be medicated. We have to sit and really see what I need to do to change something. And sometimes the change is radical, and it will appear that disrupt the status quo. Maybe it looks like it's going to disrupt your family. It's going to disrupt your rhythm of life. But so what? Your rhythm sucks already if you're depressed, no? Your job sucks already. Your family is not the dream of Hollywood. Otherwise, you wouldn't be depressed. You wouldn't be addicted to medication, to sport, to pornography. It means there is something deeply unfulfilled. And so Tantra, differently than other religion, because Tantra is not a religion, it doesn't need you to believe in anything. It doesn't ask for blind faith. Absolutely no. Tantra wants your eyes wide open. Don't close your eyes and believe. No, open your eyes and trust. So, I've lost my train of thought. Being fulfilled, being really fulfilled. And so there is no guilt in Tantra that you want to have a beautiful, expansive, fulfilling life, that you thrive in your life, that you're really happy and you have it all. If you're going to have a cake, well, fucking eat it, right? Why should I have a cake? Why did they used to say, you want your cake and eat it? Yes. Is there any other reason to cook and make a cake? It's to fucking eat it, right? So the first movement that needs to happen when you meet Tantrism is to break all this habit of believing what doesn't make sense. All this saying that we go along with, that they don't make sense. Break them and stop believing them. That to thrive, that to be wealthy, you have to suffer. Is that true? Is that absolutely true? Because in my experience, suffering just culture more suffering. When you are habituated to suffer, you just swallow more suffering. You don't even notice it. So the idea that your life could be a beautiful highway to paradise, and that hell, it's only the fear to embrace yourself that make you culture your conditioning. That you stay with your conditioning because it's just easier. It's apparently easy. Because inside you're culturing your slow death. So, let me go back to sex. Let's talk about sex. I'm making you a little bit depressed here now. So, spiritual eroticism. So, let's look at how we meet sexuality and how we could meet sexuality if we use the tantric map. So, Tantra is a map, really. It's a manual, the book, the text that we were offered. That, of course, to this day, no one really knows who wrote them. And even if you see that some books are signed by some wise men, if you go really deep in the philosophy, we are not really sure if these people really lived even, because part of the tantric tradition is that we telling the truth using stories. And the paradox, we could even say, we speaks the truth. We use lies to speak the truth. And so we're telling you a story as if it was true, but in truth, it wasn't. This person never really lived. These wise people were never in a body. But in order for our brain to catch up with the possibility of bringing this story in our real life, the story is told with the parameter of our life, that this teaching were inside the body and there was a wise person. So our mind can rest and start opening up a little bit. And so this book, I believe, were just given to us, to some intelligence that are moving in our reality all the time, that talks to us through our dream, our inspiration. They whisper through the wind, the aha moment that we are having. Maybe they come from us, some come from our own personal development, and sometimes some is whispered to us. This is my personal belief. It's not really written in the Tantra, although in the writing you can also find that, not explicitly written. But this teaching has been whispered to us in the form of book, and this book we can consider them just a manual, like the manual of your car. You can drive a car without reading the manual, but if you really want to know your car and drive it to its best potential, it does help to read the manual. The same with every appliances in your houses. So the tantric is one of those that wants to know more. What's beyond my usual doing? And so we use this as map, and the beauty of this teaching for me, that I can apply them to many aspects of my living experience, and they still make sense. And so it's not just this or that. They make sense with everything. And so when we look at sexuality, the first thing I'm looking at is the makeup of the human body. And so when we look at male sexuality, we see that the sexual organs of the man are external. And so the movement of love in the body of a man is very visible. This is what it says. And because it's very visible, it's very vulnerable also. And this is an aspect that is very little explored yet. And we get in there, all of us together. And so we always lived in a culture that present the penis of a man, the phallus, like this big, hard instrument of penetration and conquering. You have to conquer a woman. We say this, right? Conquer the heart of the girls you love. Conquer her. And it feels like conquering the moon. You have to go in these faraway places, and the first thing the man on the moon does is stick a flag onto this untouched, pristine soil. Very sharp arrow, into it, with the flag that has a name of a country, the ego. Your name could be Tom, John. I was there. I got that girl. Me. I took that girl. As she was there just waiting for you, like the moon was there waiting for the Americans, It's a very limited way to see reality, and of course it's deluded of wonderment that, wow, this land was there before. I am so lucky that I get to walk on this earth first, for example. The opportunity to be the first lover of a woman. What an honor. So what do I bring if I am the first one? I would rather put rose petal on the earth, on the surface of the moon, right? put an offering instead of sticking a pole. So and this says a lot how we approach sexuality. And I mean, we are all victim of this really bad education and terrible culture. We're living in a culture, as I started this talk, that is designed, very cleverly designed, to break the human being, not to uplift it, not to make it thrive, but to break it, because then you can be a fabulous slave, you know. You don't know who you are, I'll tell you who you are. Just give me your money and I'll tell you better. So there is an invested agenda in also manipulating our sexual encounter, because the way we meet our sexuality is the way we meet life at large, is the way we meet ourselves, is the way we express in every relationship we are having. Also the relationship with our children, our animal, our work. And so when we meet sexuality, the tantric way, that we bring an offering. We bring something. And in the masculine body, hey, you have a penis that is outside and is visible. That's an offering. That's your offering to the body of woman. And as a man, you don't go inside the body of woman to take something from her. Generally, you take pleasure, you take power, you take a personal satisfaction, ego, some sense of self-importance. Oh, I fucked so many girls. Oh, I went to that coffee shop. I got the girls. I nailed her. You know, we use this word. What other words? I nailed her. I screwed. The screw again, like this thing. Nail, screw, shag. Where does it come from?
British.
Is shag something?
Like a sheep, no?
Shag
But is an activity? Do we shag something else? Do we use it for anything else? You shag the soil. There is when you hammer, bond, and other hard things. Fact, which means I break her. Actually, really, you know. Rammed. Slam. Wrecked. Plow. When you plow the soil with a very sharp instrument. So do you see the parallel, that the way we approach sexuality is the same way we conquer the natural environment? We nail, we screw, we plumber, we pillage, we nail, we go into the soil and we take it.
I have a horrifying one.
Huh?
Someone told this to me. It's Afrikaans. It's stiek, which means to stab.
To stab. Fuck. What are we doing?
And she used to talk about our lovemaking like that. I'm stabbing her.
And perhaps she even love it. You know? Maybe that's also her, that using this terminology, I got fucked, I got slammed. You know, women also can use this because we don't think what we are saying. Because we've lost connection. We don't know that this is a magical instrument of creation. We create with our body, with our word. What we say goes. What we say, we create. The witches always knew. And they got burnt, you know? So first level is like, let's pay attention. How do we speak about our sexual encounter? Because how we speak about it and how it's going to be. How do we express it? And so, you know, you were all taught to go and get something from a woman, like we conquer the moon, and I am important, and I am powerful. We conquer women, we fuck many women, sense of self-importance. But if I need to violate in pristine territory to create value in myself, what is really telling me that I'm fucking broken, that we are pretty lost, that we need to resort to that to give value to myself. What is the heart? No one speaks about having sex with the heart. We're only looking at the genitals. And sexuality happens here. It's a very confined movement here. So no wonder there is so much addiction to pornography. Because many men fuck only with their cock. That's all. Above the cock is completely unexplored territory. Particularly because many men also were taught that you don't go in the realm of the heart, that is the business of women. And if you go there, you're a sissy, you're a wuss, you are a pussy, you are whatever. And so this split is tremendous. And this split creates a terrible split in reality at large. Because a lot of the business person in power are also men. Finances are run by men. Politics are run by men. Some women are catching up now. But, so is the same relationship. So I have to have it bigger and harder and stronger and fuck as many as I can. Never mind meeting the one I'm having sex with. And this is the same way we relate to the world. Quantity, not quality. For personal value. So in the tantric tradition, it's completely turned around. So the penis of a man, it's an offering. When a man meets a woman and see her arousal, and has a response, and there is an erection, there is nothing that needs to be done with this erection. The erection is my offering to you. Look what you do to me. Wow. Imagine if the man on the moon landed there and just went, wow. Maybe cried a little bit out of beauty. That's what you are doing to me. First I receive it. I receive the immensity, the wonderment. And then I allow this movement to direct my movement of devotion and offering. Almost in saying, how can I serve you? Wow, you offered me so much. Now, what can I do for you? Mm-hmm. And then there would be a very natural, spontaneous movement. Either the woman would tell you, or the moon would blow some wind, and maybe some intuition whisper in the ears, and you will know what to do next. And that's directed by the wonderment of an open heart that listens, that is connected to the whole body. So, in my culture, in our culture, in my generation, I'm in my 50, and I hope this thing will change now. As a girl, I grew up believing that if a man has an erection, it's my responsibility, and I have to do something about it. I have to finish it. So I have to suck it, lick it, touch it, open my legs, but do something so they are relieved. Of what? Even this word we use, relieved. Of a burden. Is that a burden? Isn't amazing to have a hard-on, to be excited and aroused about life? Why do we need to end it so quickly? Can't we stay in the wonderment and the pleasure that is created in my body? Maybe I can hold my erection for a little longer and feel, wow, this is me. This is my power. This is the power as a human being. Here is an arrow. Here is to get on with the conversation. It feels funny now to say this, but is a nail, is a screw, it's a hammer, you know. What do I want to do with this? What do I want to build? Yeah, these are all building, using language of building blocks. With screw and nails and hammer, you can build a house. And inside a house, you can make love. You can raise your children. You can have a beautiful fire and be in communion. You can pray. With this is all the thing you can do with your penis. You can build a family. You can build shelter for yourself. You can build beautiful, enriching relationship. If you sit for a moment and realize this. This is a realization, you know, is a tantric realization. And so there is a tantric story that one point, I don't want to go into the detail of the story because I'm going to get sidetracked. I do this a lot. And please bring me back to the hand holding the penis. Where Kali is crazy and she is killing all the demon, and she did a great job, but now she tasted the blood and she's really thirsty for blood. She liked it a lot. And she started to kill everything and everyone, and is out of control. And so all the gods called Shiva, her consort, and say, hey dude, here is your wife, please do something about it because we don't know what to do, she's out of hand. And so Shiva arrives and to the battlefield with all the corpse and the dead body and the smell of blood, and he lie on the floor with an erection. He lie in Shavasana, right? We all have done Shavasana in yoga. Now I'm going to jinx your yoga. The next time you do Shavasana, you're going to imagine yourself as Shiva lying down in the middle of the chaos of life, and you only have one response: your erection. Where do I put my heart? Is my heart present in the chaos of life? Instead of going and rescue and fixing and thinking he knows better, he just lay down. This is God, the creator. He lies down and sit with his ardon and doesn't do anything. He'd offer his ardon to this situation. He'd offer his unwavering presence. Of course, he's Shiva, is connected with his heart and the heart of reality and the heart of life. And the response of him being connected to the heart of life is an erection. That's how he responds, because he's also the body of life. And so this is how the body responds to the heart of love. It erect. It says, okay, here I am. I am standing firmly for love, for the heart. So it's a different heart. Is that stick, instead of putting it on the earth and cracking the surface of the moon, it rises up as an offering. And Kali see this offering, and she really likes it, because women, I don't know if you know this already, but women love sex and have a great sexual appetite, and not accepted by all the religion of the planet. This is another massive taboo, that women don't have sexual desire, they don't like to have sex. Well, not true, another false truth. And she likes it so much so that when she sees this erection, she stops the killing, she stops the chaos. That's more attractive than anything else, even of her thirst for blood. And she goes and she sits on the lingam of Shiva, she squats on him, and the picture depicted is she's squatting on him, and she's got many hands, and this hand, once she takes him in, he's not doing anything, he's a corpse. Do with me whatever you want. And she takes him in with her own rhythm, with the depth that she requires, in the way that she wants. And by taking him in, she takes him all the way to her heart, and through her heart she creates reality. These are the many hands that express everything we know in life. And so he brings order in the chaos. He doesn't deny the chaos. He just brings consciousness into this apparently chaotic expression of living. So you, in the body of the man, can do exactly the same, only if you wish so. And if you start to align with this idea, with this proposal that is Tantra, don't believe anything I tell you. This is not dogmatic. These are just stories. If this story, when you listen to them, expand your body a little bit, makes you feel, wow, yes, yes, yes. This means you know already this truth, and this truth are only being evoked in you again. They're making room in you again. Making room through the false belief created, and they pierce you into your heart, and that's how you know if something is valid or not. So when a man has his penis in his hand, and if you look at it, because the invitation that before you meet a woman, that you have at least met yourself with deep intimacy. And so if you haven't done this yet, no problem, you have a lifetime to catch up with everything. So you can let go of how old you are, how many fuck up you did, whatever. Don't worry, you have eternity. And if you don't make it in one life, you know, you have another and another and another until you get there. Everybody's gonna get there. Everybody. Because it's by design that you will find what you are here to discover. Enlightenment, awakening, it will always be there for you. If that is the design of your human journey, which apparently it is for everybody. So this awakening and this enlightenment will come for everybody. You have to let go of this fear of missing out. And it might take you a very long time. But because we are in the ever-present moment, who cares? You've got yourself right now for eternity. How wonderful. So when you hold your penis, if you observe the erect penis, on the tip of the erect penis there is the gland, and the gland has the shape of a heart because it's round, and then it comes in, right? It does this. Doesn't it do this? Yeah, but like this, right? On top. So if you make it flat, it's a heart. So the symbol is so clear. Reality gave us all the indication and direction. This is the tip of your heart as a man. Think about it. And it's tender. It's really tender. And the tip of the penis is designed to be really tender and hypersensitive. But then what do we do with our great human intelligence? We go and circumcise the biggest chunk of the population on the planet under spiritual stories, religious, not spiritual, under the umbrella of religions. Whatever is that story, the reality is that they're cutting your foreskin, so the tip of your penis is always exposed. And when it's always exposed, it becomes desensitized. And that's a real symbol of our humanity. We are all desensitized. We see horror happening and we don't do anything about it. It's not my business. It's not my family. Someone is screaming. I remember there was the neighbor screaming one time. We lived in an apartment block when I was growing up with 8th floor, people, and 8 family here, 8 family in the front, but no one is friendly. Yeah, we are friendly, we are polite, but no one is friend. And the neighbor, they were fighting, and I was a kid and I heard it, and I remember saying, we must go and see what happened. And my mother said, no, it's none of our business. This is their family and they do things as they want. Mind you to go and intervene. And so we learn. And now when I remember, I was right, I knew it. It is my business. This is happening in my reality. I'm hearing the screams. It's my business. If I don't hear it, okay, I take care of what is surrounding me. But if I hear it, it's fucking my business because it's affecting me emotionally. So we are desensitized, and that's represented by the tip of the penis, the circumcision. And so also many of you guys grew up meeting sexuality secretly and fast and furious, like my Rahasya always used to say. You know, really fast and furious before someone is coming, before your mom, your dad, your brother sleeping with you, your sister, and before you get caught. And so again, you're training your penis that the movement needs to be hard and fast. And then let us quickly come so that we relieve ourselves of this burden. And this is also a word. I need to relieve myself. I'm horny for too long. I need to relieve. Relieve of what? Stay there a little longer. This is you. You get to know yourself. You're holding your heart in your hand. Now I want to imagine all of you, close your eyes and cup your hand. And imagine that you have your raw, real heart that pulsates in your chest. Like there's been heart surgeries here. and your chest is being cracked open, and someone pulled out your heart and put it in your hand. It's still hot, it's full of blood, it's still pulsating. You can feel the vibration of the hot blood in your hand. Now, how would you handle this? How would you move it? You would have to walk in the world with this heart in your hand. No, really, what would you do? If you enter a restaurant, what would you do? The first thing I'd imagine that you make sure no one bumps into you. You hold it very dear. You protect it. And then you make sure there is a safe environment before you put it somewhere. You don't just drop it or let it go. Right? That we would do, I think, is a natural instinct. And so, in your life, if you are a man here right now, I ask you, did you ever handle your penis with such care, with such devotion? Did you protect it? Did you make sure it felt safe before you put it into something? I'm guessing here, but I suspect that perhaps not a lot, not many times, or maybe absolutely never. So here everything changes now, right? When you are having a sexual encounter with somebody else, that when your penis presents itself in arousal, can be held with respect and honoring, that your heart is exposed and is visible. So where do you naturally would want to put your heart into? And one answer that comprises many answers, many situation, is the body of life, perhaps. Where would you want to put your heart into? The body of reality, the body of life, the body of nature, the body of the planet. And sure, inside the body for sure, because inside another body is warm, it's cared for. Inside another body is soft, there are no nails or rough terrain, it won't be scratched and damaged. It will be received in softness like a pillow. So your sexual desires are really sacred and holy and are made by divine design. It's not a problem. There is no mistake in this at all. It's perfect. That's why you would want to put your heart somewhere where it's warm and maybe even dark. Because our heart lives inside the body and the body is dark inside and it lives well in darkness. So hence the desire of man to put the penis inside something, inside, in the dark, into the mystery, into the body of God, you could even say, where is accepted, where is loved, where is not judged, where you can take your time, that you don't have to be fast and furious, and relieve yourself, because your sexual arousal is not a burden, it's a blessing. It means you are fully alive in this planet. And for men that have issue with erection, the question is, why do you feel that you can't be alive in the world? It's not a medical condition that needs to be treated in the body. It's a condition of the soul. Premature ejaculation, I can't hold the intensity of pleasure. I can't hold the intensity of being alive in the planet. I can't hold the intensity of the expansion of my being. I can't hold the intensity of my own joy. So let me finish quickly. So I can go back to my conditioning, to my habit that I'm so used to, and they work for me. And for many people it works. Good for them, and they're not sitting here, in fact. And blessings to them. You know, the tantrik has a desire to know more, to go deeper, to explore the profundity of your experience as a human being. And that's why Tantra is not for everybody, and it shouldn't be for everybody, and is not in my agenda to bring it to everybody. I'm not one of these Tantra teachers that needs to bring it to the world because the world needs it. I don't know what the world needs. I know what I need. I need this teaching. And I'm going to teach it to the people that know that I want them. And that's enough. We are enough. So when there is the heart on the tip of the penis, is this direct connection to your human heart that is inside, that also is in the dark. And what a blessing to be a man that you have two hearts. One is invisible and one is visible. How lovely. Then you can use your penis as an antenna to guide you where your heart wants to go. So your penis can take direction from your heart and not from your ego, not from the mind and bypass the heart. And the heart is the generator, is the great alchemist. You know, many spiritual traditions, like this current of Tantrism and Sufism, for example, the poetry of Rumi, you would know that we say that the God live in the heart. In the heart. And science and all this alternative scientific exploration shows that the electromagnetic field of the heart is greater than the one of the brain. And religion tell you that God sits in the mind. And if you have bad thought, God will see you because it sits in your brain. And then we have this picture of the throbbing heart of Jesus, never of his brain. The image of Jesus sitting with a radiating heart. Never see Jesus with the brain in his hand. You know, make right choices. Do the right thing. He's just there with his hand open and this burning heart. And that is the burning desire. That's erotic desire. It's in fire. His heart is on fire. When is your heart on fire? Tell me. When do you? When you are in love. When you make love. When? When the heart breaks. What else? When is? Your desire. When you feel your desire. Lust.
When you miss someone.
When you miss someone. Longing. When you recognize beauty. When you are in nature. Painting. So when you do the arts of living, creativity, your heart is on fire. Dance. What else? What do you do that you love, and when you do it, your heart is on fire?
Looking at your cat.
Your cat. Yeah? When you're in love.
When you eat delicious food.
When you eat delicious food.
You catch a good wave.
When you catch a good wave. What else? They tell me. Let's speak together. What did you say?
When you're in the ocean.
When you're in the ocean.
When you feel alive and on the edge.
When you're on the edge.
You have to jump off
Like a cow.
When you take psychedelics.
When you take psychedelic. When you meet the heart of life. When you meet truth. My heart is on fire when I read the tantras, when I teach the tantra. My heart is on fire right now that I see you here present and alive. When we are together, my heart is on fire, community.
When you're afraid.
When you're afraid, because you get to know yourself. You are in the real realm of, these are the real law of life. It comes from inside.
You jump off a cliff.
When you jump off a cliff, you meet in the mystery. Yeah, it's the excitement, fear and excitement at the same time. My whole body's on fire. Yeah?
To navigate chaos.
Navigate chaos.
Driving fast.
Driving fast.
When I'm thinking about my death and that it might be any moment.
When you think about dying, because it ignites your love for living. That activates life. Then you are on fire. All the things you have to do before dying. You know? Gosh, I haven't done this. I have to finish that. Can't die before that. So these are the true teaching of love. This is the burning heart of Jesus. And none of you said, when I do my duty correctly. None of you said, when I've been a good person. When you pay your taxes. No one of you said, when I comply with the rule.
When I behave.
When I behave well. Yeah, fuck. We want that. Jesus is telling us there. Make your heart on fire. Go find what fires you up. Do that. And sit in it. Sit in it. Make it your life. So sit in your sexuality, in your eroticism, in your lovemaking. Make it last. It's not a burden. Then the Tantra tell us that the real movement of reality is a cosmic endless orgasm. Those are the only words that could be found that in some way can match the experience of reality constantly recreating itself for its own pleasure and being reabsorbed into itself to recreate itself. It's like a wave of orgasm. It always happens. The tantric practices teach us to join in. There is nothing to learn. It's already happening. You have all the tools you need already. We just have to stop avoiding meeting the heart that is on fire. That's all we have to do. Stop resisting yourself. Stop resisting this wave of pleasure when you are aroused and you have an erection and you're on your edge. Stop resisting the edge and melt into the edge. Let it kill you. It feels like a dying, yeah? A petite mort. The orgasm is a death. So, die. If that's what the moment invites you to, get right in there. And you might just realize that that dying results in greater living. So, learning to stay in the intensity of pleasure. Hold your erection. You don't have to relieve yourself. Nothing needs to end. Sex never ends. Sexuality is the movement of life that continuously recreates itself. And this we know because you never have enough orgasm, right? There's never a fill-up point. You can spend your whole life making love, having sex, and having another erection and another erection. So you can do it. It's on repeat. So the source where your arousal comes from is never ending. It's ever giving. And that's your heart. And that's the essence of love. Love is ever giving. And more you love, more you can love. More you give yourself to love, more you find reason to love your life. Even when it's not pretty, even when it's not sweet, but you can still love life. And so the fear that I need to end this because I don't have what it takes to sit in the intensity is just the fear to open yourself more and get to know the edges of your being, your potential. And so, this is just a piece I give to you. Meditate upon it, use it in your life in any way you want, but learn to make love with yourself for a little longer than 5 minutes. If you can, and I'm not judging, if you cannot, I understand. Sometimes I also make love to myself for 3.5 minutes. You know, it's okay, it happens, and but I'm aware that this is what's happening, and maybe I only have 5 minutes, so 3.5 is just about right, you know? So it's okay, because I know I'm going to do it again, and maybe next time it's 2 hours. And so the 3.5 minutes, it's okay. But that you start to relate with your sexuality as a journey of expansion, and you relate with curiosity and fascination, and also as an offering of yourself to life, to your own life. So instead of masturbating fast and furious, you can make a ceremony of a prayer of self-pleasure. You can make a self-pleasuring session, a ceremony where you pray for what you really desire in your life at large. Maybe for the woman you desire, or the man you desire, for the love you want in your life. Maybe you can pray for your children that are struggling. Maybe you can pray for your friend that is in hospital. Maybe you can pray for the state of affair, for ESCOM to find a resolution, because the state of affair really suck. Let it suck you, for real. Life sucks. Suck me, life. I'm here. I'll help you a little bit. Let's do this together. Really suck me. I give you everything I got. Take the best part of me.
Wow.
This is the best part of me. Everything else is a story. You know, you want my frustration, you want my imprisonment, you want my fear, my anxiety, my anguish. You've got them already. But don't you want the essence of me? I give you. Suck from the essence of me. And may this be a blessing to the movement of reality. This is the best thing I can give to the air, the sky, the earth, the forest, to everything, to reality at large. So, making your masturbation a practice, a prayer practice. You can pray for your own well-being. You can pray that you can learn to last a little longer. I pray that we can last in this love affair for longer than 5 minutes. Right now, this is my prayer. With your heart in your hand. So you're praying to your heart, and you let the prayer of the heart to move through the body. You're using this tool, the whole of your being, to support in the expression of your heart love to the world. Wow, it's a very different story than watching porn and having really lame goals, that your only goal to have sex is to ejaculate. That's the goal. I just need to relieve myself. That's it. That is a thing you can do sometime, but the goal, the offering of your sexuality to that. And okay, let's ejaculate too. There is no problem with ejaculation. So now, in this context, I'm making this prayer, and I'm offering my heart desire to whatever it is, and I am self-loving myself. I'm holding my heart visible in my hand, and please look at your cock when you play with yourself, when you pray with yourself. Look at yourself. Look at the shape. Of course, I've got a massive cock. Two hands. So heavy. It's so beautiful, you know. I love penises. I love the expression of power into the penis, because what I see is the magic of turning the invisible visible, when this soft muscle, that just with an internal movement of the body becomes so present, so visible, so hard. The hardness of your penis is the intensity of your potential, is what you have to bring into this world. There is so much that becomes so dense. And then you can see the blood going there. You can see the changing of colors. The red, the purple, the tension on the gland, it sometimes becomes almost purple, like the heart chamber. It's visible. We can't see the heart inside. Sometimes they see video of body operation, of surgery, because I'm fascinated by the body and by the inside of the body and the color. But in our genital, all the colors are there. The purple, the blue, that's the power of your desire to be alive. Wow, look with wonderment. And then when you come into the peak of your pleasure, you ejaculate. So there is this expression of a juice. So the ejaculation happened by contraction. The whole body contract and express. I love this word in the Sanskrit text that is used a lot. Express your love. And we express the genital fluid is an expression. We also express milk from the breast when we breastfeed. The midwife say express. And then we say express your talent. Because the talents are invisible and you make art and that's an expression of your talent. So in sex, you express everything that is inside of you. Your fear, your desire, your love, your longing for God. You're longing for connection. You're longing to be seen. And so we squeeze the body like you squeeze an orange to make orange juice, right? We take the essence of the orange, the most powerful part, which of course needed the body of the orange to make it so sweet. Like you need your whole body and your whole life to make it so sweet also. And then you squeeze yourself and we make moon juice. Also is expressed soma in the Veda. My teacher translates soma, my tantrik teacher from India, as moon juice, because it's the juice of pure consciousness, and the body of the man is representative of the symbol of the masculine force. It's a force that moves strongly to the body of the man, stronger than the body of women. And so your body is representative of consciousness. So when you squeeze your body and you ejaculate, you produce moon juice. Because the moon also, in the symbology of the Veda, represents consciousness. The light of consciousness is white. And the ejaculate, it's also white-ish. Like the moon is not just white. It's iridescent a little bit. It's reflective. So it's got lights, it lights. And if you look at the ejaculate, it's not white. It's like moon juice. It's almost transparent white. Yeah? You can see through it, but it still holds its own presence. It's like consciousness. You see through it. It's not something completely finished and solid, but you get a gist, the presence, you can sense awareness. And so the sperm, it's really multi-dimensional. And it holds the most powerful essence of you. It's a juice. You know, we milk the cow, we milk the breast, and in Tantra we say you milk the lingam. And instead of jerking off, like we say you milk the lingam, you milk it. And the yoni, the vagina, milks the lingam. When you are in healthy connection and healthy penetration, and if the yoni is really available and desire this moment, her muscles are designed to naturally milk the lingam. You know, we've got a very powerful grip in the yoni. We pull in. And you know this, because a woman that really wants you and wants your juice, there's no way you can resist it. She's gonna make you come. You think you are coming. No. She's taking you. She is making you come. And in our traditional way to make love, we push the lingam inside the yoni. You dictate, you push in and out. You do the fast and furious, because that's what you learned. No one else taught you in any different way, and you think that's how it goes, so you keep doing the fast and furious. But if you learn in your self-loving practice to milk your lingam, you're milking your essence, then you understand, and you just need to penetrate a woman, and she will do everything else. In fact, she takes you in. You will do like Shiva. You would say, hey, here I am. I'm engorged, I'm full, I'm so ready, my heart is so open. Would you like this gift? Do whatever you want with this. I love you so much. This is what you evoke in me. Wow. I think it's amazing. Gosh, my love is here. My heart is on the tip of it. Would you like it? No pressure. Because if she doesn't like it, you know what to do with it. It's yours. She has no responsibility of your pleasure. It's yours. Okay, she can say, no, not now. Okay, all right. So what am I going to do with this? Wow, fuck, it's amazing. I'm going to stay with it, you know. I might milk it or whatever you want to do it. So send kisses to your heart. Blow kisses. So now you've got your ejaculate in your hand. Because again, remember, we start in the conversation that the first movement is with yourself, and you're learning to be intimate with yourself. So the relation with another come after. And again, we live in a world where many men, the majority of men, I would want to say, 95% of the men are so used to ejaculate inside the body of a woman or inside the body of a woman, full stop, whichever is the opening. So you come in the yoni, you come in her mouth, and you really like it when she takes it in her mouth, right? It's nice, let's be honest. It's nice, no? Do you like it, man? When you come into your beloved mouth? Yeah? I think so.
Yeah.
All the men I've been with fucking loved it. They begged me for it, you know? Please, can you swallow me? Please take it. And you know, oftentimes, sometimes I had some resistance, but it's like, you know, it's intense, and you know, I noticed that my resistance often came because this man never took it in their own mouth first. So they're not asking me to swallow the sacred holy juice, the sacred moon nectar they just expressed out of the lingam, because that's a delight to swallow. But the men that actually feel disgusted by it, by their own sperm, oh no, they clean quickly with the napkins and they throw it away. It's dirt. I messed. This is another word. I messed and I'm cleaning. There is disgust. So this man is disgusted of his own sperm, but he wants me to take it. So who the fuck am I? You know, the receptor of your rubbish? Am I the recipient of your sexual shame? Of your sexual disgust? That's not love. Doesn't matter how much you tell me you love me, you don't love me. Because you ask me to swallow what you cannot swallow. That's really disrespectful. So, if you haven't gone there already, I invite you to start practicing in your life to taste your sperm, to collect it in your mouth, and maybe at the beginning is hard, and you take it with the finger, and you just taste a little bit. What does it taste of? Play with it, look at it with wonderment, not with disgust. Like, wow, this is moon nectar. You know, the tantric text and all the esoteric texts, which are not religious, but they are spiritual, the Kabbalah, the Sufism, the template, you know, they're all, you will find a passage everywhere. I didn't read them all, but I'm fucking betting my life on this, because I know it. Somewhere it will be written that this is the juice of eternal life. This is the juice of knowing. This is the gnosis. This is, you can make magic ritual with this. It's the same like menstrual blood and female ejaculate. Because it holds the DNA of life itself, of creation at large. It's there. Either you make a baby or not, it's there. So do you want to know the truth about life? Yeah, take a good lick and take it in, and your body will know. It's a different type of knowledge. It doesn't have to be elaborated in words, but it gets absorbed by the body knowing. So, wow, we've got this, and this you throw it away, and you clean yourself, and then you go and spend 80 rand on a superpower smoothie that has got this zinc and this one and this powder and the lucuma, the macadamia, I don't know, I can't even name them anymore. Every day there is a new superpower food that happens. And we go, we spend the money, we buy it and we drink it. And you throw away your own power food for free. Because these are the natural law. It's for free, like water should be. Water was given to us by the planet for free. You know, the things that really matter are for free. The movement that sustain life are for free. And your sperm is for free. And you can use it. Discover the many ways to use your sperm. For acne, for example, is amazing. I told these young kids, it was the son of my friend, we also always spend holidays together, and she asked me to give them some sexual education, and it was him and his friend, and I told them about, what I'm telling you, when you are with a woman, you don't enter a woman, you let her take you. You put her hand on your penis, and you let her guide you inside of her. You don't go inside of her. And when you are inside of her, you don't do anything. You let her move. And then I spoke about the sacredness of sperm, and this guy was full of acne. And I said, you know, you can put it in your face, and it's really going to help your acne. He was like, wow, really? That's amazing. And the next year, when they came back for holiday, his skin was amazing. And me and my friend Bobby were like going like this. He's putting all this hard work to good purpose, you know. He's not wasting any drop of juice, you know. Yeah, you masturbate a lot when you're young. It's normal, fantastic, and maybe you can use it for your acne too, you know. And maybe many other purposes, you know. Drink it, eat it. You know, I love it for my skin. I mean, I become like a vampire for man's sperm. You know? So if you don't want it, I'll take it. Just put it in a jar. You know, it's very good for the edges. I don't use any fucking cream, anti-aging cream. We have sperm, you know?
Yeah.
And when it's done with reverence and love, yeah, of course, wrinkles, scars. Go do your homework. It's like breast milk. Google the richness of sperm, what it contains, and you can go the biological, chemical composition of it, and compare it to the power food, you know? So, collect your sperm, use it on yourself, put it on your body. If you ejaculate on your body, spread it, put it on your heart, give it back where it come from. This is what we do in ritual. We give back things where they come from. When we do all the offering to the planet Earth, all this puja where we offer sacred sand, which is a bark of a tree. We offer water, which come from the earth. We offer flower, which come from the planet. We offer fruit, which comes from the planet. We paint ourselves with pigment, which come from the planet. All we are saying, we give it back where it comes from to create abundance, to make a sign of gratitude, so it keeps coming. So you give it back to your heart, because that's where your penis begins. Your penis doesn't hang at the bottom of your shaft. It carries on a lot inside and energetically begins in your heart. So when you penetrate a woman, be very aware that you penetrate with your heart. So it's not about the size of your cock and how you move it inside of her. It's how open is your heart to her, to this moment, to reality, to your life, to love, to truth. If you have secrets in your heart, she will feel it. She can feel your secret in your shady places, and you can perform perfect, and you can go to every tantric course and learn the yoni massage. It doesn't work. She can feel your heart because it's on the tip of your penis. It's the first thing that enter. So clean your heart of story, of projection, that you maybe are going to have sex with her and enlighten her, and you're going to fix her problem. Fuck all this bullshit. These are ego story. Come to the vulnerability of your heart and admit your tremendous humble devotion to your own eroticism and what this woman does to you. Be a servant of your cock. Make your cock a servant of your heart. And you the servant of your heart, your ego, in service for your heart. And sometimes it also means that this woman is open and ready, and you may not get erect. And it means that your penis is getting information from your heart that this is not appropriate right now. That she's telling you she's ready, but it's not true. She's also playing a performance. Because everything I tell you now, man, I'm using the symbol of you, but next month I'm going to say exactly the same things using the symbol of the yoni. Slightly different, but the same essence. You know, different journey. So there is the wisdom of the penis that is also underestimated, because when you connect the penis to the ego, it's not wisdom. But when you connect the penis to the heart, is wisdom. And sometimes your heart knows what's going on when your mind doesn't know. And the mind is going to say, fuck, I missed an opportunity, and she was there, and she really wanted me, and she was begging me. Why didn't I do it? Fuck you! You weren't hard enough. Why didn't you perform? I've got a problem. And you really hammer yourself. And if this has happened to you, if it's going to happen to you, take a moment, stop, breathe, and say, I don't understand, I don't know, but I accept that there was a really good reason why you didn't get erect, why you didn't want to do that. Trust it, because it's really important. And so your sperm also can be an offering to nature. You can put it in a little container and go give it to the ocean. Make a prayer. Offer it. Make a hole into your garden and put it there. Give it to your plant. You can dilute it with water. Not just menstrual blood, plant love. Also your sperm. Give it to the plant. It's powerful. You know, find a beautiful way to engage your seed, your essence, with the living dance of life.